Morning, everyone. This is Terry Kugler Landscaping coming at you with a little update. Over this past week, the leaves have really come down. Got a couple days of light rain as well, so it's added to the heaviness and the workload of the leaves. So, got a little thing I wanted to share. We'll give you a little mini review and touch on some things we've already touched about this backpack blower. This is the PB9010T Echo, one of the biggest, baddest blowers on the market. So we'll jump right into my little story and update on this. So kind of started yesterday was when it really jumped out to me because the leaves have been really dry here in Ohio. They've been coming down like crazy, and pretty much any backpack blower will move leaves when it's dry out and stuff. Again, I've been at this for 41 years in landscaping game. I'm kind of a small fish, old guy, done it a long time, but I'm solo and don't have all the equipment a lot of other guys' equipment. I just have had a lot of equipment because I've been around a long time, not because I have a lot of people. So the story was a big thing that jumped out to me yesterday. I have a customer who's trying to save some money, and they were doing their property themselves the past 2 or 3 weeks, and so and they live in the forest, so leaves are 3 inches to a foot thick in spots. And so he called me in a panic and said, "Can you come out and work with me on these leaves? Struggling with them." So I come over yesterday about noon, and like I said, none of the leaves have been done in 3 weeks. And we've had major drops, so 85% of the leaves are down. And and we had gotten 2 little rain showers on it a couple different days. So they were wet, impacted, 3 to 8, 10 inches thick in spots. So whipped out my blower and here the Echo and fired it up. And fortunately they live in a woods, so a good amount of them could be blowing in the woods if you can move them. And move them it did. So I was quite, first time it's really shined through, because like I said, conditions have been ideal, and about any backpack blower I've used can blow dry leaves. But these were wet, matted, heavy, not done in 3 weeks. And I would say, and I've had a couple dozen different backpack blowers over the 41 years. And I would say this is the first one that's really impressed me in the ability, the way it moved the leaves yesterday. I would have probably had to stop, get a shovel or a hand. They were almost impossible to rake. They were so heavy and wet. It was blowing chunks and layers of leaves into the woods. It took a bit of effort, but the point is the Echo 9010 was able to do the job, where I questioned whether any other backpack blower could have done it or done it as quickly. I do have a Stihl 800X, and it is excellent overall. If you've watched my other videos, how I really like it. The fit and finish, in my opinion, it's much better. But when push came to shove yesterday, the big boy Echo shined through. And if you're dealing with them type of conditions, I'm telling you, these leaves, it was blowing 5, 10, 15-pound chunks and layers of wet leaves that, because I had stopped to pick up some. I have another customer I was doing, and I had them piled up along this fence 2 or 3 feet deep. And again, they were wet. I was hand picking them up to throw them over the fence to get them to the woods. And it was so heavy You know, again, you couldn't rake them. I would have broke the rake. So it wasn't a matter of raking them. You had to hand pick them. And again, the Echo here was able to still move the pile. At that particular customer, there was a fence in between that and the woods, so I had to stop and get them to the fence and then hand throw them over the fence. But the Echo moved them all the way to the fence and would have moved them to the woods. And of course, the property yesterday, the Echo did move them to the woods. So, and I think the Stihl would have struggled to possibly not been able to do that. So I didn't have the Stihl with me to really compare, but my 41 years of experience says that it would have been, took more time and possibly not been able to do the job the Echo did. So I just wanted to praise the Echo in that department because I've been knocking on it a little bit with the, we'll go into some of the things that I've talked about in the past. The housing being exposed back here and all these things, you're bumping the carburetor, like in this woods that I was working in, and limbs get, you know, things are exposed where the Stihl is more enclosed and smoother finish. And my big thing on this is the, which I talk about in every video, is the tubing's very rigid and not flexible. And it's, to me, it's tiring to move back and forth and not very maneuverable in tight spots. So that's my major complaint. Echo needs to address that and make a lighter, more flexible tube if they can mimic Stihl. Stihl has it nailed down in comfort and performance in that arena. And also when they're doing that tubing, I'm sure they could probably take a quarter, half a pound out of the tube possibly. And when they're rethinking that to make it more flexible and redesigning that, so which would add to the thing. So I do find the unit a little bit heavy, and it's a little more tiresome in that manner. And these, like I said, the covering here, stuff's getting, when you're trying to carry it over the rail of a truck or in and out of your trailer, it tends to get hung up on stuff. And when you're in the woods, same thing. So kind of enclose this better. Now it looks like $1 million. I think it's a good looking unit, and it's kind of nice that this stuff's out in the open in some respect where you can see it and adjust it or determine something's wrong or not wrong. But I guess I'd rather have it enclosed. And the tubing is definitely a no-go for me. It needs to, it would cause me not to almost want to buy the unit. But I do have to give it a lot of praise, as that's the purpose of this video. It's an update and review, and pardon the handshaking and stuff. So if those that don't know, I've got Parkinson's, so doing the best I can. So if you see me shaking or the camera shaking or hear noises, that's what that is. Just get that out there. And so that's where it's at. But yesterday it really shone through. And in tough conditions, you're a commercial guy and you've got leaves to move, snow, rain, and whatever. As far as I know and what I've used, the Echo in that department, when it's extreme use, the Echo shines through, and it is the king of blowers currently on the market that I've used. I know there's another one or two, I can't think of the name, Mariyama or something like that. That's supposed to be very powerful. They're kind of a little harder to get and don't have the support, so I am aware of it, but I stayed away from it for them reasons. But so the Echo was impressive yesterday in extreme conditions. And if you're dealing with them like I was yesterday, then there is no other backpack blower to get in my opinion. I go out and get one of these today if you're dealing with that type of leaf cover. If you're able to keep up on things and you're a homeowner and weight and maneuverability is a big concern to you, then this is probably not the backpack blower. The Stihl or some lesser unit of these different ones. I like the Stihl brand and the fit and finish and ergonomics of it. So even the BR600, I believe they still make that as a really nice bulletproof blower, pretty powerful and lightweight and maneuverable. So it's a very decent homeowner. But if you're got a big property and you just want the biggest, baddest, most powerful blower, I don't know of any others than this one. And it really impressed me yesterday. And I'm a hard person to impress after 41 years. So I've seen it all and done it all. And pretty much, it seems like it to me. As soon as I say that, something comes along and surprises me. So I've learned never to say never. But anyhow, that's my time on that. So, and again, the thing I wanted to point out, I'm a small-time YouTuber here trying to climb the ladder. And this is an honest review. Echo did not pay me for it. I didn't get a big discount on the blower. A lot of the bigger channels, I hear that's getting to be quite popular in YouTube, is that people are, getting stuff discounted or getting a free blower to review. And to me, I think that kind of taints the reviews or the purity of the YouTube and the channels. Even though they still state it, I guess it's up to you. I think it's okay they state it, but if you think you're going to get a honest, review out of that, to me, it's stepping into this. What I'm presenting is a review. If they give me this and say, well, don't talk about this or that, and, we're giving you the blower, to me, that's a commercial. So two different things. So this is a review. It's not a commercial. I'm a real landscaper, 41 years. I paid full price for this. It was over $600, $600 to $650. And I've used it for about 6 months now. And it's taken me into the fall season, peak season, which yesterday was my worst job I had to do this year to date. We've didn't have snow or ice yet too much this year of any significance here in Ohio, so that's even worse than the wet leaves. But yesterday it really impressed me. Like I said, it was blowing up leaves I normally would have to take a shovel or a hand do and throw on a tarp and drag it in small amounts to get rid of it. And this unit here, the Echo, picked up these chunks. I would guesstimate them between, most of the time, 5 and 10 pounds of layers of wet leaf, broke them up, blew them into the woods. Just was quite surprising and outstanding. And it took a job and it saved me at least an hour's worth of time if I had a unit that couldn't have done that. So in them condition, the Echo's really shining through. So have to give a thumbs up and credit where credit's due. And the power of the 9010 yesterday was impressive in them conditions, and just wanted to share it with all you guys out there and landscapers. And so I've been a little hard on the Echo, and overall the Stihl wins out. But in these conditions that I'm having, the power was made up for a little bit in them conditions. Overall day-to-day use, I still prefer the Stihl, but in extreme conditions, I'm sure glad I had the Echo yesterday. That's my time. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this is helpful and informative, and we'll talk at y'all later. Thank you.